Hello, this is John Locke, and today I'd like to talk with you about things you should troubleshoot when you're not getting leads from your website anymore. Before we take it any further, let's define what we mean by leads. Usually these will be people coming in through a contact form on your website. Maybe you're sending them to a specific landing page. Maybe there's a specific contact form for each product. Let's say that you were getting 1 per day or you were getting 10 per week, and all of a sudden it drops down to 0. What do you look for first? First place you should go to is your Google Analytics account. If you have that set up on your website, hopefully you do. But look at Google Analytics and see if there's been a drop-off in your traffic. And you can drill down and see if people are going to your contact page, your contact form, your request for quotes form. Make sure that you haven't lost any web traffic in Google. Okay, so second thing to do is if you're running paid ads, this will apply to you. If you're not running pay-per-click, if you're not running AdWords, then this won't apply to you and you can ignore it. But the second thing you should look at is your AdWords. Make sure that you're getting clicks each day. If people are still going to your site, if they're still going to your landing page, then you know that that's not the problem. We basically want to make sure that your ads are being seen and that people are still clicking through. You can definitely do some more adjustment on your AdWords account and optimize it. If you go to your AdWords page, you can definitely click on a tab called Recommendations in your AdWords account, and it'll give you suggestions of how you can improve your ads. That's something that if you're invested in AdWords, you should definitely check out. But let's say that everything with your web traffic seems normal. Then the culprit is most likely something with your contact form. Your contact form might not be sending to your email. Now I see this happen quite often with WordPress sites, and usually it's something if you're using Contact Form 7, if you're using WP Forms or other free plugins which do not save your contact form entries to the database. And this is bad news. This means that any contact forms that have been submitted from your site have probably just disappeared into the ether. So if you are going to use Contact Form 7, you want to install this other plugin. It's Contact Form 7 database. Basically, it will save your contact form entries to the database, and there will be another tab in the admin so you can see the entries of the people who have filled out your contact form, and it doesn't just disappear into nothingness. Now what I do on my sites that are running WordPress, the WordPress sites that I build for other people, I use a plugin called Gravity Forms. This automatically saves any contact form entries to the database, meaning you haven't lost that information. You can always log into your site and you can see the contact forms that people have submitted. One takeaway I want you to take from this is if you are running a WordPress site and if you are using a free plugin for your contact form, you want to test it periodically to make sure that it's still sending. And do not use any contact form that does not save those entries to the database, because you do not want them disappearing just into the ether. If you're running a WordPress site, the most common problem with the email not delivering is you need to send those emails via SMTP. This is just a fancy way of saying that you're connecting directly to your email server. Whether you have email set up through something like GoDaddy or Microsoft 365, there will be an email setup section there. You'll need another plugin to send those emails via SMTP. So the one that I usually use it used to be called Postman SMTP. I think it's called like Post SMTP. You could also use Easy SMTP. Basically, this hooks directly into your email server. Your website is actually using that email server to send email. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but this is going to get a little bit technical for a few seconds, so you can tune this out or skip ahead if this stuff doesn't interest you. But WordPress, by default, it uses the WP Mail function. It basically uses a basic PHP function to send email. So in a lot of cases, this can work for a long time and then all of a sudden stop working. So you do want to test this from time to time. So basically, you would go into your email setup center, you'd plug in the values, send yourself a test email. Like I said, I use the former Postman SMTP. I think it's Post SMTP now. I will put a link in the show notes of a couple plugins that you can use. Okay, so let's say that you've gone through all those things and it's not the contact form. Let's say you've fixed your AdWords And what's really happening is you have a drop off of traffic. So if you have a drop off of traffic and that is the reason why you're not getting leads anymore, you need to check all the sources of traffic that your website normally gets. So go back in Google Analytics, look at the history. The main thing that I would be looking for is if there's a drop off in organic search. That's normally where you show up in Google search naturally, not through AdWords. That would be through PPC, pay-per-click, or AdWords. A referral can be a channel. That's anything, any site that's linking to you. So if you had a temporary boost from another site linking to you and maybe that site isn't sending traffic anymore, that might cause a drop off. Check all that stuff out. If you do have an organic drop off and your rankings have dropped, if your SEO has dropped, then you probably have some work to do and you need to diagnose what you need to do for your SEO. To sum up, the three things that might cause you to not be getting leads anymore is one of your sources of traffic has dried up, whether that's through Google search or something else, or your AdWords is not working correctly and you aren't getting the clicks because you aren't showing up. In most cases, if you increase your bid, if you increase the quality of your ads, follow all the recommendations that are in the AdWords helper, there you'll usually start getting clicks again. And the third thing is your contact form isn't working. So that's definitely something that you should check out. Make sure that your contact form works from time to time. My name's John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO. We help industrial and manufacturing firms with their SEO, helping them get more traffic through Google and Bing, and as a result, they get more requests for quotes. If you have an SEO question that you'd like to see us answer, go ahead and drop it in the comments below. We'll answer it out in a future video for you. If you're getting value from this channel, the one thing I would ask you to do is subscribe, because we are publishing videos once a week. That's our brand promise to you. That's it for now, and until next time, peace. There's an old saying that we used to have when I used to work in the retail bakery, and that was, inspect what you expect. It's good from time to time to just go through the process yourself, fill out the form, make sure everything works correctly.